What's up, guys? Well, welcome to today's live session. Today is all about proven fat loss strategies. This is going to be a super packed session. So be ready, buckle down, take notes, do what you got to do because there is so much information in this particular one. And we're going to try to get through it as fast as we possibly can. So this is what we're going to cover today. Okay. We're going to cover the difference between weight loss and fat loss. Make sure you truly understand the difference. We're going to talk about the 5 areas that you need to focus on and the role of each of those areas. Okay. Then we're going to talk about the strategies that you actually have to use for these particular 5 areas. Okay. And then we're going to talk about some common mistakes that you're making and maybe some things that you've done in the past and you continue to do now. And maybe this is why you can't get out of the situation that you're in. Okay. So that is going to be our session today. Without further ado, let's just jump right into the training. So first, we're going to talk about most common mistakes and the most common mistakes that I see people make all the time. Now, honestly, there's literally about 50 common mistakes. I mean, there's literally that many. Okay. But I've narrowed it down to 4. And we're only going to talk about these 4 things. And it's not so much mistakes, but it's more of the mistakes that you're saying, the mistakes that you're thinking. Okay. So we're going to just narrow it down to those things because chances are if you think these things, then you're going to be acting and making the actual mistakes. Okay. So the first mistake that I have written down is in order for you to get results, you have to be 100% perfect. That is a huge mistake. If your idea is the only way I'm going to get results is I have to follow the plan to the T, and that's the only way it's going to happen, then you're already starting off on the wrong foot. So most people, their only strategy when it comes to following a plan is I'm just going to follow the plan. That's it. Like there's no strategy. That's not a strategy, guys. If your strategy is just to follow the plan, that is not a strategy. That's the real caveman thinking. Okay. So mistake number 1 that I see is people just thinking, I'm just going to follow the plan 100% perfect. Okay. And that's what it is. They're going from where they are of doing nothing or doing a little bit to being 100% perfect. Okay. That's a common mistake number 1. Okay. As you know, you have tried many times to follow a plan for it to only not work. And so you just go find another plan. You think your issue is the plan that you're following. So you go find another plan, but then you use the same strategy. Then life happens, you can't do it, and you go right back to your old ways of being, right? So what do? It's the plan's fault. So let me go follow a plan that works, right? So you go find another plan and you try to follow it 100% perfect because that's your strategy. And then you just go right back to your old ways. And most people that are listening to this right now, and most people that have been, struggling with fat loss their entire life, they have done this many, many times of getting a plan, starting over, getting a plan, starting over, not realizing that, it's actually what they're doing. It's their strategy. Okay. And they keep blaming the plan. Oh, it's just a plan. I haven't found a plan that works for me yet. Right. Oh, it's just that plan was too extreme. Oh, well, it's because you didn't have a strategy and your only strategy was just to be 100% perfect on it. Okay. So that's mistake number 1. I'm getting fired up already. Oof, we're in for a long session. If I'm already fired up on point number 1. All right. Mistake number 2 that I see is people thinking and saying this exact quote. I'm the type of person that if I know what to do, I'm just going to do it. So all I need is a plan. Okay. If you're saying that, that tells me right now that you don't have a proper strategy. Again, you think your strategy is, I just need a plan. I just need something to do. If you're saying something like that, okay, then I'll tell you this right now. Save yourself the trouble. Go online, go look for a free workout plan, free nutrition plan, and then go follow that and see if that actually gets you results. You have a plan, right? You just downloaded one. Why can't you follow it? Why can't you do it? Oh, it's the plan's fault. No, it's not the plan's fault. Okay. If you're the type of person that keeps saying, oh, if I just knew what to do, I would do it. Okay. There are hundreds of thousands of programs out there. There's hundreds of thousands of people that are giving you programs out there. Okay. Why don't you just follow it? Okay. Man, if you only knew how many calls I get on a weekly basis of people that tell me this exact thing. they always start off with, I'm the type of person, right? You're the type of person that, like, I'm the type of person that if I have a goal and I know what to do, I'm just going to do it. Okay. Guys, I've been doing this for 22 years. And if it was really that simple, then every single person, I wouldn't even have a job, number one, because it's easy to create goals. You already have a goal, right? You want to lose weight, right? You want to lose fat, right? You want to reduce your body fat, whatever it is, right? You already have a goal. And like I said previously, you can go get a free workout plan, a free nutrition plan from anywhere. You can buy one for $100, $50 here and there. Okay. You can do all that. Okay. And so you have a goal and you have a plan, but why is it that you're not doing it? Why is it that it's not translating to results? Okay. Well, oh, it's the plan. It's the plan's fault. No, it's not the plan's fault. Okay. It could be, but it's not. That's not the only problem. Okay. Again, it's not having the strategy. Okay. Not having the proper strategies to really lose fat. Okay. And the last one that I'll say is this is probably my favorite amongst people who have lost weight, lost fat, have gone through their ups and downs, right? They'll say, oh, I know what to do. I'm just not doing it. Okay. If you're saying that, then you need these strategies in your life. Okay. By this time, everybody knows what to do. Okay. The studies of exercise have really made a huge boom in the 80s, right? And then nutrition sciences and all that stuff really made a huge boom in the 90s. And by the 2000s, everybody's trying to formulate it. And now you see every social media Yahoo out there that is teaching all these crazy things or whatever. Okay. Point being is, what to do and how to eat has been out there forever. We all know what to do. Eat the leaner cuts of meat, right? Eat fruits and vegetables, eat whatever times a day. Okay. Just eat better, eat clean, whatever you want to say. We all know what to do. Go exercise, go do cardio, go do weight training, go do this. We all know what to do, but we're not doing it. Okay. So if you're saying that, I know what to do, I just don't do it. Okay. Then it's because you don't have the right strategies in place. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you're making any of these, if you're saying or thinking any of these things, you need this session more than anyone. Okay. And I can guarantee it's probably going to be quite a few of y'all who are watching this right now. Okay, cool. So those are the common mistakes. Let's just go ahead and go into the next section and let's talk about the difference between weight loss and fat loss. Okay. Most people think it's the exact same thing. Okay. It is not the same thing. There is a huge difference between weight loss and fat loss. Okay. So in order to understand this, I'm going to have to get a little bit nerdy with you. And I'm telling you right now, we're going to spend a little bit of actually more time on this section than any other section, because if you don't understand this concept, you are going to continue to fail in your fat loss program. This is a fundamental concept that you must know. In fact, every coach that I have on staff, every client that I work with, we always talk about their results in relation to what we're going to talk about right now. This is the foundation of a fat loss program, is knowing the difference between weight loss and fat loss. Okay. If I wanted to say a weight loss program, that's a totally different conversation. But to specifically target fat, this is the conversation that we're talking about right now. Okay. So let's get nerdy for a second. Okay. So your weight is the sum of two things. Okay. There's two components that make up your total weight. Okay. There is your fat mass, the pounds of fat that you have on your body. That's one part of your weight. The other part of your weight is what's called your lean body mass. Okay. Now your lean body mass is pretty much everything that isn't fat. Okay. So when we normally weigh ourselves, we interpret weight for fat, or we interpret fat for weight. Okay. And that's not true. Fat is fat. Okay. Your weight is made up, your total weight is made up of two things: your fat mass and your lean body mass. If you add those numbers together and how much each of those weigh, that will equal your total weight. Okay. So there's a way that we can actually break that down, and knowing how much fat mass you have and knowing how much lean body mass you have. Okay. So fat is pretty easy to understand. Okay. Fat is fat, right? It's the amount of fat you have on your body. That's the kind of weight that we actually want to lose. We want to lose fat weight. Okay. We don't want to just lose lean body mass, because your lean body mass, like I said, is everything that isn't fat. Okay. So this is like bones, skin, your organs, your muscle, your water. Okay. These are all part of your lean body mass. Okay. Now don't get all confused with me yet. So fat is fat. Okay. Your lean body mass is everything that isn't fat. Okay. All that stuff I just explained. Okay. Now, the only two things, your organs, your bone, your skin, that pretty much stays constant all the time. Okay. So if you see that your lean body mass, or the only thing that will make your lean body mass go up or down, is going to be you either gaining muscle or losing muscle, right? Or gaining or losing water. Okay. So if you're weighing yourself every day, okay, you might see your weight go up 2 pounds, go down 3 pounds, go up 2 pounds. You might weigh yourself in the morning, weigh yourself at night, and you see these numbers just continue to go like this. And that's because of your water. Your water changes on a daily basis. Okay. So that's not necessarily the kind of weight that you want to lose. You want to lose fat weight. So many people get super excited about weight loss because their weight went down, from the night before. Okay. But all it was is just the water. Okay. That's not really the kind of weight that you're losing. The weight that you want to lose is your fat mass. Okay. Super important that you understand that. Okay. So oftentimes you'll hear me refer to lean body mass as muscle mass, because realistically, the thing that's really going to move the needle the most is going to be the amount of muscle that you gain or that you lose. Okay. If you're staying hydrated and you're drinking enough water and you're doing all that, like my clients, that's one of our habits that we work on is drinking water. Then I know that your water fluctuations is going to be relatively equal. You're going to stay steady. Okay. Now, if you're going one day without drinking any water at all, and the next day you're drinking 2 gallons of water and you're super inconsistent, then yeah, that your lean body mass may be affected by your water. But if you have normal hydration levels or a normal hydration schedule, even if you're not even drinking as much water as you need, if you're being consistent with your water consumption on a daily basis, then when you see your lean body mass go up or down, it's going to be mostly because of muscle. Okay. So anytime that I'm working with a client, I'm always looking at two things. I'm looking at their fat mass and I'm looking at their lean body mass, knowing that what's really moving their lean body mass up or down is how much muscle they're gaining or losing. Okay. So now that we can understand that our weight is made up of fat mass and our weight is made up of lean body mass. Okay. Now we can see, hey, I want to lose this. I want to lose the fat mass. Okay. That's really what I want to target. And that's what I want to lose. So once you understand that what you're really trying to lose is fat mass, it changes the entire strategy and the entire process and your entire mental approach of how you're going to lose fat. Okay. All right, cool. You got that? So we are trying to lose fat. Now, the only way that we know how much fat you have on your body and how much lean body mass that you have on your body, we need two things. Okay. We need your overall weight. Okay. But most importantly, we need a true, reliable body fat reading. Okay. Most in-home body fat scales that do body fat, they are not reliable. Okay. You cannot use them, especially if it's some off brand and you bought it for $30 on Amazon. Okay. It's not going to be reliable. Okay. 1 minute you might be 30%. The next minute you might be 32. You might have done everything right and gone up to 35. Okay. So in-home body fat scales, for the most part, are very, very unreliable. Okay. There are more reliable sources of body fat readings, like an in-body scale, like Staiku, like a 3D body fat scanner, like a DEXA scan, or even somebody who tests your body fat for you. Now, there are in-home body fat machines that are reliable. And as coaches, we use these body fat machines. Okay. And that's a different conversation for a different day. But you need a reliable, very reliable reading of what your body fat is. So now that I have your weight and now that I have your body fat percentage, I'm able to put that into a formula. And what that does is that splits up how many pounds of fat mass you have on your body and how many pounds of lean body mass that you have on your body. If you are trying to lose fat and you are not measuring your body fat percentage and you are not splitting it up between fat mass and lean body mass, okay, you are going to fail because your weight could go do like this. Okay. So let me give you a quick scenario. Okay. Most people have a very unhealthy relationship with body weight. Okay. So let me give you a scenario. Okay. What if this happened? Just think about this for a second. We're going to see and we're going to determine if you have an unhealthy relationship with weight. Okay. All right. So that's scenario number one. Let's say that you're working out really hard, you're eating right, and you've been on it and you've been doing it for a month. Okay. Then you go jump on the scale and you gain 2 pounds. Okay. Think about that. You've been working your butt off. You've been eating right. You've been making all these sacrifices and you gain 2 pounds in a month. Would you be happy with that? Okay. Think about that. Write your answer down. Think about it. Okay. All right. Scenario number two. Let's say that you've been working out really hard. You've been eating right. You've been getting after it. You've been making all these sacrifices. Okay. And you lost 4 pounds of fat. Would you be excited about that? Chances are you probably would, right? You'd probably hell yeah, 4 pounds of fat in a month. It's worth it. I'll keep doing it, right? All right. Scenario number three, new scenario. Okay. What if you were working out really hard? You were exercising, you were eating right, you were making all the sacrifices, you were doing that. Okay. And then in 30 days, you measured yourself and you gained 6 pounds of muscle. Would you be excited about that? Probably. You'd probably be really excited, right? Because we always want to gain muscle, right? And we'll talk about it why here in a second, but you would probably be very excited about that. Okay. Now, scenario number four. Okay. What if you were working out really hard, eating right, making all the sacrifices, doing all that? Okay. And you lost 4 pounds of fat, you gained 6 pounds of muscle. Would you be happy? Think about that. If it happened both at the same time, you lost 4 pounds of fat and you gained 6 pounds of muscle, would you be happy with that if it happened in 30 days? Okay. Chances are you would be very, very happy with it. Okay. All right. Now let's go back and revisit your answers to scenario number one. If you said that you would not be happy with a 2 pound increase, okay, and you wouldn't be happy with that, but you said you were happy with this very last scenario of losing 4 pounds of fat and gaining 6 pounds of muscle, then that tells me that you have an unhealthy relationship with weight. Okay. Because in scenario number four, you lost 4 pounds of fat and you gained 6 pounds of muscle. That's a 2 pound increase on the scale. Okay. Now you were super happy with that until I said it was a 2 pound increase on the scale. And now you're like, no, I'm not good with that. If you liked scenario number four and you said, yeah, I'll be happy to lose 4 pounds of fat and to gain 6 pounds of muscle, but I wouldn't be happy to gain 2 pounds of weight on the scale, you have an unhealthy relationship with weight. Okay. And that is a huge problem. This is why we're spending so much time talking about this, because I can teach you about fat mass. I can teach you about lean body mass. But if at the end of the day, you still weigh yourself, and if your weight goes up, you think something is bad, then you have an unhealthy relationship with weight. Okay. And that needs to be addressed. Okay. So I'll say it again. Your weight is fat and muscle. That's what it is. Okay. What you want to lose, you don't want to lose weight, because if you want to lose weight, I can chop off your leg and you'll lose like 40 pounds instantly. Okay. But that's not the kind of weight you want to lose. You don't want to lose muscle. You don't want to lose bones. You don't want to lose skin, right? What you want to lose is you want to lose fat. So the only way to determine if you're really losing fat is by doing your body fat and putting those numbers through the formula to determine if you're losing fat on a monthly basis. Okay. So I hope that makes tons of sense, guys. Again, if you were unhappy with scenario number one, but you were happy with scenario number four, that tells me you have an unhealthy relationship with weight. Okay. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next section and let's talk about the 5 areas that you need to focus on for your fat loss strategies and the role of each area. So here are the 5 areas. Number 1, you need to focus on your nutrition. We all know that, right? Number 2, we need to focus on our cardio. We all know that. Number 3, we need to focus on our weights. Not all of us know that. Okay. Now, as I go through this, it's going to be like, yeah, not everybody knows this. Okay. So weights. Area number 4 are our habits. Okay. I'm telling you right now, the power of my program, the power of why we have been able to get results year after year, client after client, is not because of this crazy nutrition plan that we have or this super awesome workout plan that we have. It's because of our emphasis on habits. Okay. So that is a huge area. And most people never take their habits into consideration or even put that as an area of focus. They know they need to be there. But what's more important is, let me put all this energy into finding the right workout plan and the right exercise, or the right workout plan, right nutrition plan. Let me put all my energy there, where actually you should be putting all your energy into a habit plan. Because if you had a habit plan and did not have a nutrition or exercise plan, you would still get results. Okay. So the power of all these things is habits. That is a huge thing. And most people don't do that. Okay. And the fifth area that you want to focus on, okay, is your mindsets. That is, I'll tell you right now, habits and mindsets, it's a toss up. I'm not sure which one is more important. Okay. There are certain times where habits are more important. And then there's certain times where mindsets are more important. Okay. And they kind of trade off, but they are just as powerful in a program. So if you don't have these 5 areas of focus in your fat loss program, okay, nutrition, cardio, weights, habits, mindsets, I'm not saying you're not going to be successful, but you are creating a bulletproof program if you can focus on all 5 of these areas. Okay. Now let's really quickly talk about the roles of each of these areas. Okay. Nutrition, I'll just make it simple. 80% of your results are going to come from nutrition. Really simple. 80% of your results are coming from nutrition. So if you want to see the bulk of your fat loss, it needs to come through your nutrition program. Okay. Cardio, the role, that's the most direct way of using fat as energy. Okay. So if you want to use fat directly as energy and burn fat, okay, you do it through cardio. Okay. However, don't think that you just need to do your cardio. Okay. You also got to do your weights. Okay. Your weights is really responsible. I'll say the vanity things first. It's shaping your body, right? Giving you that look, the curves, whatever you want, the broad shoulders, the thick chest, the booty, the legs, all that stuff, right? It shapes your body. Okay. But more importantly, what weights do is it increases your metabolism. Okay. I hear all the time, oh, I'm getting older. I think my metabolism's just slowing down. Okay. If you want to increase your metabolism, lift weights, add muscle, and that will increase your metabolism. That will get the amount of calories that your body burns every day, which is your metabolism. Okay. And that will get it higher and higher and higher and higher every day. Okay. So the role of weight training will really allow you to get your metabolism up, and that will help you lose the fat. It will run in the background. It runs all day, 24 hours a day. Cardio only works when you're doing cardio, but your metabolism works 24 hours a day, even when you're sleeping. So if you can build your metabolism, you could theoretically burn fat while you're sleeping because you've built your metabolism. Okay. So your metabolism is working all day long. It's increasing the number of calories that your body needs in order to maintain its weight. Okay. So weights is going to do that. Your habits. Okay. Your nutrition and your plan is what you need to do. Your habits are actually how you get it done, how you need to do it. Okay. The step-by-step tasks that you need to do to make sure that you accomplish your nutrition plan or your exercise plan. Okay. Now, your mindsets are way more complicated. Okay. But I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. But your mindsets, having the right mindsets will allow you to get started, right? It's that motivation. It's that excitement. It's all of that. Okay. But your mindsets will also allow you to power through those initial struggles that you're going to have in the first couple weeks, the first 3 weeks, the first 4 weeks, right? It will allow you, changing your mindset will allow you to have a new perspective, right? That's what we're trying to do right now with this proven fat loss strategies, is give you a new perspective on going through your fat loss program. So having the proper mindsets will also change your perspective. Okay. Now, having the proper mindsets will also help you overcome some of your self-limiting beliefs, right? I had, 5 conversations today with my clients about, I don't want to eat late at night because I'm going to gain fat. That is not real. Okay. That is not real at all. Okay. So I had to talk to them about that, right? Because we have an emphasis on mindsets in our program. Okay. Mindsets will also help you gain resiliency, right? That's what you need to continue to power through, to bust through barriers, to be, determined to bust through no matter what is going on in your life. You're resilient, okay? And mindsets are also part of self-responsibility, taking responsibility for what's going on with your body, what's happening. Okay. All right. So those are the 5 areas that you need to focus on. And now let's just talk about the general concepts of proven fat loss strategies. Okay. So here is what we've all been waiting for. Okay. What are the actual strategies that we need to follow? Okay. When we're trying to get into our fat loss program. Okay. Number 1, focus on learning the habits. Number 1. And then focus on learning how to execute those habits. That's 1A and 1B. Focus on learning the habits and focus on learning how to execute those habits and how to add those to your everyday life. Okay. It does not say be 100%. It does not say that you need to be, balls to the wall. Okay. It just means that you are learning the habits that you need to have in order to accomplish your results, and you're learning how to apply those habits to your life. Okay. That's step 1. Learn and apply. Okay. There is no execution rate we need you to be at yet. Just learn and apply. Okay. Number 2 on your proven fat loss strategies is focus on getting consistent. Once you've learned the habits, once you've learned how to apply it, focus on getting consistent. Okay. Now, consistency is, there's a number. Okay. Consistency means that you're at 70% execution rate or higher. Okay. So if you're doing something 70% of the time, okay, and not doing it 30% of the time, you are considered consistent. Okay. So as long as you are at 70% execution rate or higher, you are getting consistent. So number 2, focus on getting consistent at 70% execution rate and do it for 90 days. So stay at 70% for 90 days. Don't try for 90 days. That's not what it says. Be at 70% execution rate for 90 days. Okay. If you can do that and you can focus on just being consistent at 70% or above, and you can maintain that for 90 days, you are on the right track. Most people fail at the consistency phase. Why? Because they think that they have to be 100% perfect in order to get results. They have the wrong mindsets on achieving fat loss. They have the wrong concept of the things that they have to do. So they beat themselves up over and over and over again. They create all of this guilt because of the cheat meal they had last night, or because I didn't work out today, whatever it is, right? They get into their head, they get into their mindsets, and they don't focus on their execution. And then they stop being consistent and they never get consistent. Okay. Guys, it's really simple. Focus on, learn the habits. Okay. Apply those habits. Number 1. Number 2, execute those habits at 70% execution rate or higher for 90 days or above. Okay. If you can do those 2 steps, man, you are rocking and rolling. That is a huge hurdle to overcome, but there's 2 more to continue to go on your fat loss journey and get to that ultimate place you need to be. And number 3 is learn when it's a good time to go extreme. Okay. What I'm talking about right now, guys, these first 2 steps, nothing has been extreme. It's all been pretty normal. Okay. So learn how to get extreme. Okay. Learn how and when you need to get extreme. Number 1. So if you're not consistent for 90 days, you have zero business trying to get extreme, because that's your problem. Okay. We've in a sense kind of vilified being extreme right at the very beginning. Okay. But there is a time and a place where you want to get extreme. But before you can get extreme, you got to know the habits. You got to know how to apply them, and you've got to be consistent for at least 90 days before you get to that point. Now, if you're there, learn how to get extreme, and then only be extreme for 30 days. Okay. And then go back to being consistent again. Okay. Or you can even, if you're really crazy, you can go 60 days, but I would not suggest that anybody gets extreme for more than 60 days because it's too mentally exhausting. It's too mentally taxing. But you have to know that there is a time and a place to get extreme, but it's very short lived. You cannot live extreme because you will be all out of balance everywhere else, or you'll never even finish your goal. Okay. So number three, learn when is a good time to get extreme as long as you've completed the first two steps. Okay. And then number four, I should say, is this is probably the most powerful one. Okay. Reevaluate. Look back. I just went through learning the habits, applying them. I just went through getting consistent, and I just went through a 30-day extreme period. Okay. Let me stop here and let me look back on this and let me reevaluate. Okay. And ask yourself questions like this. Where was I the happiest? At what point in my journey so far was I the happiest? Okay. Where did I really like the way I was living my life, where I felt like I had balance with going out to eat, enjoying friends, but exercising and getting the results that I wanted? Where did I really have that balance? Okay. And really evaluate and look at that. Okay. And then once you look at that, and once you kind of just look at everything that you had and where you were happiest and all, you ask yourself all these questions, write all that down, because now that is your new template. That is your new standard of living and what you want to do and what you want to maintain. And then all you have to do is go back to being consistent again. Now you can stay at 70%. You can move it up and say, hey, no, my new goal is to be at 75% consistency. Okay. But you can do that in that fourth section. Okay. So let me recap. Here are your proven fat loss strategies. Focus on learning the habits and learning how to apply the habits. Number one. Number two, get consistent. Be at 70% execution rate or higher for 90 days in a row. Okay. Number three, learn how and when you should be extreme. Okay. You don't need to be extreme at the beginning. Okay. Learn how and when to be extreme. And then number four, reevaluate. Look at where you were your happiest. Were you your happiest in the extreme phase? Were you happiest in the consistency phase? Were you happiest when you were learning the habits? Okay. Look at where you were happy. Look at where you liked your body, where you liked your lifestyle, where you liked your balance. Reevaluate in phase number four. Okay. And write all that stuff down. Okay. So those are those proven fat loss strategies. Now, bonus tips. If you truly want to have a bulletproof, real legit fat loss program, okay, this is what we do as coaches at iFM Coaching. This is exactly what we do. We have a strategy and a plan for each of those 5 areas. Okay. We have a nutrition strategy, and it's its own strategy. We have a cardio strategy. It's its own strategy. We have a weight training strategy. Again, its own strategy. Okay. We have a habit strategy. Okay. And then we have a mindset strategy. We know exactly what we want you to go through, when we want you to go through it on each of those 5 things. It's what I gave you earlier was just a general concept. Okay. But we break it down even more to each of these things. So every single client that works with us is getting their nutrition strategy, their cardio strategy, their weight training strategy, their habit strategy, and their mindset strategy, because we want to look at all 5 of these areas, because these 5 areas are what you need for a fat loss program. Okay. All right, guys, that's all I got. It's a long session. It was a really long session. And I'll tell you this, I actually have a course called Proven Fat Loss Strategies 2.0. So if you're interested in taking that course and you want to get more details on it, just comment below fat loss, and I will go ahead and tell you instructions on how you can get access to that Proven Fat Loss Strategies course that I have. Okay. If you want to set up a call and talk about your goals, talk about your struggles, and learn how to overcome your struggles, just go to ifmcoaching.online and sign up for a call, and I'll be happy to schedule a time to work with you to really talk about in depth what you need to do to really overcome your struggles and get to that body that you've always wanted. Guys, as always, it's been awesome. It's been great. We'll see you next time.